In Britain, bikes are scrapped every day. And many more are unused in sheds and garages. But there is an alternative. Recycle is a charity whose volunteers rescue these bikes and prepare them for transportation to Africa. Bikes are collected in a large barn leased from the National Trust in rural Essex. Some bikes are repaired or renovated, and others flattened. That is, they have their pedals removed and handlebars turned ready for loading. Many are stripped for parts. This work is carried out by volunteers or as a community service project in collaboration with the probation service. The wonderful red post bikes, complete with carriers, which are donated by the Royal Mail, have been much appreciated as strong workhorses in demanding situations. Every 6 weeks or so, a container lorry arrives and an enthusiastic band of volunteers turn out on a Saturday to load the bikes. During the past year, over 2,000 bikes have been shipped to Africa. Each container holds up to 350 bikes. They are loaded in 4 hours by the well-organised group of volunteers. Shipments contain bikes of all shapes and sizes and spare parts donated by cycle shops and manufacturers. With the job half done, it's time for a break. When the bikes arrive in Africa, they are checked over and each bike given a ticket with a note of anything that needs to be done. They are then distributed to outlets sponsored by Recycle's local partners. Many of these outlets are set up in containers donated by shipping companies. This one uses 2 containers. I will let Mishak tell you all about it.
What we have here is a bike-related project that was established by Bicycling Empowerment Network, and they have given me training for a period of about 6 months, I think, to learn more about bikes, because it wasn't only about just working on bikes. It was about educating the communities about low-cost mobility, about sustainable development, about using this bike as a vehicle, as a tool to actually uplift our standard of living, to actually embark on black economic empowerment, empower disadvantaged communities who most of them can't afford. For example, parents can afford to pay for their children to go to school. So if you give that child a bike, if you encourage a parent in that particular family to have 2 or 3 bikes within that family, that will bring about change. And we make them aware of the importance of cycling, because number one, you use a bike, you're conserving the environment. It's not emitting any pollution whatsoever. You're contributing towards protecting the ozone layer, for example. and that is sustainable development. When you're using a bike, you save a lot of money, you know what I mean? To and from school, to and from work. You save a lot of money, you become fit, so it's good for your health. Your heart rate increases, the chances of you getting a heart attack are reduced. So there you go, you're benefiting. It's a package on its own. And when customers come in here to repair their bikes, we don't only focus on getting monetary value out of them, but we focus on educating them as well. If the customer comes in and say, hey man, Misha, my gears are not working properly. They're not, when I put on two, it's struggling to go into the second sprocket on the cluster. We actually educate people and teach them how can you adjust your gears so that tomorrow they can do it themselves, you know what I mean? And they can actually teach more people within their family, within the community, and actually promote cycling in all its forms. And really for me, this has changed my life. This has changed the way I see the environment. This has changed the way I relate to people. It has also change the community. A lot of people are on bikes, a lot of people are aware of the benefits of cycling. A lot of people now, it's a healthier community because people are regularly on bikes, people exercise regularly.
There have been huge benefits to Africans from the 9,000 bikes shipped so far by Recycle, but many more are still needed. If you can help in any way with unwanted bikes by volunteering or just cash, contact Recycle.